All right, today we are breaking down a story about a conflict that starts with a simple holiday question. And then, in the blink of an eye, it brings a 2-year relationship right to the edge of collapse. It's a wild look at just how fast things can completely fall apart.
So let's just dive right in with this line. Can you imagine hearing these words from your partner's 13-year-old daughter? This one sentence, right here, this is the explosion that basically lights the whole thing on fire. So, how in the world did we get to this point?
Okay, so let's set the scene. The story is all about a blended family. You've got the narrator and her 11-year-old daughter, Yaya. And for the last couple of years, they've been living with her boyfriend, Tony. The whole mess starts when Tony's 13-year-old daughter, Gia, enters the picture, over the phone.
And this is a really key detail you got to remember. This isn't some new, shaky relationship. For 2 whole years, Tony has been a live-in partner. He's supported the narrator and her daughter. They've actually built a life together, which makes the speed of how it all unravels just that much more shocking.
So, the fuse gets lit with what seems like a totally innocent phone call. Gia calls the narrator up and asks if she can come stay over for the entire Christmas vacation. Seems like a simple enough holiday request, doesn't it?
Well, the narrator lays out some pretty practical reasons for saying no. There's just not enough space, there's no real place for Gia to sleep, and they hadn't budgeted for enough food for another person for that long. Plus, and this is a big one, her own daughter really values her personal space. But she does offer a compromise. She says Gia's totally welcome to visit for the day. Seems reasonable, right? Well, it's not taken that way.
And this right here, this is where a simple no about logistics turns into a full-blown direct confrontation. The reaction to this answer changes absolutely everything.
Gia doesn't just get upset. She completely snaps. She yells that bombshell line we started with, "I don't even know why my daddy is with you," and then just hangs up the phone right in the narrator's face. Wow. A major line of respect has just been crossed.
So just stop and think about this for a second. Your partner's child has just been profoundly disrespectful to you. What do you expect your partner, their parent, to do in that moment? I think most of us would expect them to step in and handle their kid's behavior, right?
Yeah, that is not what happens here. Not even close. Instead of correcting his daughter's disrespect, Tony immediately turns on the narrator. He accuses her of being selfish and making his daughter feel like an outsider. He takes Gia's side, 100%.
So now, this whole thing isn't about a holiday visit anymore. Suddenly, it's about loyalty, it's about respect, it's about who has authority in the family. And from this point on, things escalate with, honestly, breathtaking speed.
The narrator, you can imagine, is just floored. From her point of view, this has nothing to do with selfishness. It's about basic rules of respect, especially for adults, and about her having authority in her own home. She just cannot believe he's defending what his daughter just did.
And then, Tony drops the bomb, the ultimatum that puts their entire 2-year relationship right on the line. He directly connects him being in the house to his daughter getting to stay there. This is it. This is the point of no return.
And you know what? She's been pushed to her limit. She is furious, and she calls his bluff. In just this moment of pure anger, she basically tells both him and his daughter to get out. It's a fiery, impulsive comeback, meeting his escalation with a massive one of her own.
And what happens next is the immediate, just devastating fallout. Those angry words have now triggered real-world actions, and the life they had built together just starts to completely crumble.
It really seems like her response caught him completely off guard. He looks shocked, and he looks hurt, but you can tell his pride is really wounded. And without another single word of argument, he just goes to pack his bags. He even makes a point to mention the dog, Turbo, saying he'll be back for him, making it crystal clear this isn't just a cool down. He is leaving for good. And those are his final words before he walks out the door and slams it shut. It's a really fascinating peek into his side of things. In this whole tornado of disrespect and ultimatums, the thing he feels the most is hurt by her decision.
Okay, so let's hit pause on the raw emotion for a second and really analyze what was happening here. Because this wasn't just a fight, right? This was a collision of 2 completely different ways of seeing the exact same problem.
So here's the absolute core of it. They both believed they were right. The narrator felt like she was protecting her home and the principle of respect. For her, it was all about boundaries. But Tony, he felt like he was protecting his daughter from feeling excluded. For him, it was all about parental loyalty.
He saw her practical limits as a personal rejection of his daughter, and she saw his loyalty as a complete betrayal of respect in their relationship.
And this brings us to the huge, messy question that's just hanging over this entire story. After hearing all of that, who do you think was right? As you've probably already figured out, there is no easy answer here.
You know, there's actually a name for this kind of situation. It's called a relational dilemma. It's when both people have needs that are totally valid, they're legitimate, but those needs are in direct conflict with each other. She needs boundaries, he needs his daughter to feel included. She needs respect to be upheld, he feels the need to show loyalty to his child. There's just no easy win.
So we'll end with the narrator's own questions, the ones she was probably left screaming in her head as that door slammed shut. What just happened? Why is he doing this? Who's right here? These questions just perfectly capture the dizzying speed of the collapse and the deep, deep complexities of family dynamics, leaving all of us to wonder if there was any way at all to avoid this disaster.